Rant about it. Listen to us live on Facebook.
You know what, David? It's the top 7 of 2021 on our top 21 list.
Wow. Okay.
It's the end. It's the end. The
I
year
hope
is
not.
done.
I hope it's the end of the year, but not the end. The end.
No, it's the end of our live for 2021.
Yes, sir.
David, I had a blast this year.
Likewise, man. It's been fun. And I got to tell you, I love when people run up to us, and say to me, you guys, do you guys edit this? No. Do you pre-record it? Mostly not. It's live.
I think it's kind of obvious.
Do you guys how do you we wing most of this, but we do our research, we do our homework just to make sure that we're not bullshitting.
Right. We know the facts. We try and give everyone the facts and give everyone a chance in whatever media they want to watch. But you know what, David? We're a minute in. Number 7.
All right, let's talk about number 7.
Cancel culture.
Cancel culture. Oh my God, could cancel culture have been one of the worst parts? One of the worst parts of 2021 was how cancel culture really, really, really impacted. And I think that it's fascinating when you see it. We saw it in James Bond movies. We've seen it with respect to religious holidays or anybody's holidays. And now as we're in Christmas time, and I'm going to say, I wish people Merry Christmas. I get told, oh, you can't say that because you're going to offend people. You're going to have to say Happy Holidays. Like, come on. Stuart, to me,
Merry fucking Christmas.
Cancel culture.
And a Happy New Year.
Cancel culture has become a virus. They're just like either you're with me or you're against me. You either agree with me or I shut you down. And how many Hollywood stars can't get jobs thanks to cancel culture, Stuart? It's not even funny.
Good. You know what? I got to tell you, I think anyone who is not extreme left should open up their own studio, their own distribution, and fuck them. I've had enough of them.
Yeah, but you understand that this has reached a point where we as a society, we've done this. We've allowed them to be as, what's the word I'm looking for? As they've taken over. Frankly, they've taken over.
You know what? And it's partially everyone who's not on the extreme left's fault. Why bother? Why waste my time? Why give it a time? It's like cancer, man. It spreads. Don't get rid of it.
Let's move on.
Moving on. Number 6, David, is what?
You know what, Stuart? This year was crazy. How many times did we hear, it's time to tax the rich? They should pay their own portion of the taxes. Stuart, what do you think?
I think that the dumb are dumber and the dumb keep getting dumber. The largest tax in the United States that has been on the poor is just simply the tax on gasoline in 2021. That increase is the largest single increase that every single homeowner, person that drives a car or that basically needs to go to work is costing them more money. That's a tax on the poor. How much is your gas tank now, David?
Yeah, listen, I got to tell you, my gas tank right now, if you think about it, during COVID, I paid $1 a liter. $1 a liter is essentially 30-odd cents a gallon.
4.4. No, that's 4.40 a gallon.
3.6 gallons to 3.6 liters to a gallon. But I'm paying now $1.50. I'm paying 50% more for gas than I did 1 year ago. And I got to tell you, California and other places are paying more than I pay in Canada. And so when I hear the AOCs of this world saying tax the rich, tax the rich, tax the rich, you know what, guys? Stop it, because the taxing the rich is not going to get you very far. The taxing the rich pay a very high amount. And I don't want to hear about percentages. And I don't want to hear about loopholes, because if it weren't for charitable donations and one of a lot of things, we'd be in a hell of a lot worse case.
Yeah, and AOC and the squad, they're cheap motherfuckers and they don't give any money. But I gotta like Virginia, but we're moving on.
Number 5.
Why less people are watching sports, athletes, morals? Like, you know what? What gives, David?
What was that? So it's a very funny thing. ESPN's ratings are down. a lot of these sports channels ratings are down. You know why? Because people are sick and tired of listening to the athletes pretending to be politicians. When you
Don't you want to watch the
No.
Kaepernick movie?
I don't want to watch Kaepernick, and I certainly don't want to hear LeBron.
How about LeBron James?
I
LeBron James, David. I was with the mayor of Dania Beach. She's a former WBA basketball player, also played for
WNBA.
Israel. Her name's
WNBA.
Tamara. What?
WNBA.
WNBA name's Tamara. Let me tell you something. We got into a spat in my friend Kush's jewelry store about how much of a donkey I think LeBron James is as a hypocrite. But anyways, David, sorry for interrupting.
I think the point here, the point I'm trying to get at is that we look to sports and entertainment as an escape from real life. And when they shove microphones in front of the athletes and asking them about what they think about politics and all that, people are getting tired. People are getting tired of watching athletes kneel and sending political messages that are just wrong.
Women's soccer team in the Olympics.
You know what?
A bunch of jackasses.
And you know what? Athletes as moral leaders, they're only a handful. But you know, it's interesting because just recently they asked Tiger Woods a question, a political question. And Tiger Woods said, I'm not answering. And again, the media challenged him and he said, guys, I'm not answering. My politics are my politics. I play golf. I will only talk about golf. And that is what has happened in 2021.
It's called the moral standard.
You know what? I'm sorry. But you know what? When I don't agree with a statement like Laura Ingraham said to LeBron, just dribble the ball, just play basketball. But at the other hand, the media
dribbles the mouth.
The media has created, so suddenly sports athletes are going to tell me how to vote, or is going to tell me how to do things. And when I'm seeing at the back of helmets, Black Lives Matter and all these kinds of things,
Come on,
and all that,
what about Miley Cyrus? I'm going to move to Canada if Trump got elected. I wish these assholes actually did move to your north of south.
Please, I don't want them here. Anyways, let's move on.
Bonjour, monsieur, le numéro 4 d'aujourd'hui.
So, it's funny when people say that racism doesn't prevail. Well, Stuart, I'm going to take this one on because the Quebec government has been trying to continue to push its racist policies. And it's gone after two groups of people. The first group are minorities, visible minorities that wear religious symbols. They've already eliminated the fact that a teacher cannot wear a hijab, a Star of David, a cross even. They don't want them to do that. Okay, and we have a shortage of teachers, and we just had this in a town just outside of Ottawa where a teacher was told she was to be fired because she wore a hijab. And she's like, but there's no teacher. So they'd rather have no students having teachers than because they don't want to be impacted. Now the government is going after the English community by trying to further eliminate English in society. What they're trying to create here is a purified Quebec nation. Sound familiar, Stuart?
Sieg Heil!
Yeah. Unfortunately, This is what the government is doing here, and we are very tired. We're very tired of these political games where you're lying to the population by saying everything is, if we get rid of English, French will be better. If you get rid of English, you're going to create greater ignorance. And it's unbelievable. Let's move on to number 3. Stuart, your favorite guy is being lied. The media continues to lie about your favorite governor, let alone everything else. Stuart, could you believe
the poster child, DeSantis, and the only reason why they're spending hundreds of millions and almost billions of dollars is trying to destroy Governor DeSantis because he's actually a really good, not left, not progressive elected official that's serving the state of Florida better than any other governor in the history of the state of Florida.
But it's worse, Stuart. The media, we caught 60 Minutes lying about Governor DeSantis. We've got other media lying about DeSantis. We've got the media lying about the president and Biden. All of a sudden, Biden, the vice president. We've seen how the media continues to bring Donald Trump into the conversation, even though he's no longer relevant.
They did this in the Obama administration. They blamed Bush. It's the Bush. Listen, You can see through the weeds because these people are weeds. They cannot block the trees. The trees grow bigger than the weeds, and we just got to rise above it.
Stuart,
And you know what? I hope Governor DeSantis kicks their ass. He's witty, he's smart, and if the media gets shut down, this is going to be good.
You know what the crazy thing, the latest thing that we're hearing now from some of the left-wing media and the lies and whatever is now there's a campaign that they don't want Fox News to be at the White House. That the Fox News should not be there. You know, folks, the whole so-called balance reporting, we talked about the Walter Cronkites of this and that. It's just further proof it ain't going to happen. Now, there's an interesting story coming out of CNN that under the new ownership, they want to revamp a lot of things. And we will, when we get to number 2, we'll talk about one of those reasons. But Stuart, it's interesting that the media lies is starting to finally get them in trouble. And the fact is that people are watching less and less the lying media. Let's move up to number 2. Speaking of lies,
Stuart! The Como brothers!
Yeah!
Woo-hoo! It is not hard to find 2 assholes in a barrel with the same last name, Como. Disgraced Governor Como and disgraced news anchor Como. I mean, 2 assholes, 1 body. I don't get it. You know, how in the world these guys aren't being indicted in New York City because of the left-wing racist damn district attorney? These guys are complicit. They need yellow jackets and bars, man. I called it out way back in the beginning.
You did.
You were with me. You were with me right after that broadcast. That broadcast monologue of me roasting that damn forsaken governor. Listen, all the morons in New York that voted for him, you're morons. Admit it. He's bad. Look at de Blasio. He's another moron. He's bad. But the Como brothers killed thousands upon thousands of people.
And not only that, they both tried to cover it up. But not only that, but the damn Chris Cuomo continues to believe that he is above you and me, that he holds the moral high ground, that he's wrong.
You know, his name is Chris. He thinks he's a saint.
You know what? He used to cover the Vatican. And I guess that, you know, he thought that he was some genius and whatever. The Cuomos were.
I wonder if we can call the Pope out on denouncing the guy and removing him from getting, what is it called, every Sunday at church?
Mass?
Yeah, Mass. I think we should have the church remove the Comos from allowed to serve in the church.
Well, let me tell you something. I want to tell you, these are perfect poster boys for how
choir boys?
Yes, how you could pull wool over people's eyes. The Governor Cuomo in 2020 got an Emmy. He got accolades, a book deal, how everybody got snowed. But it's interesting how hard it was to get this guy off his perch. Think about how many women came out and accused him and they didn't want to give in. And think of how people are now
not for me, but for thee. Rules for Democrats, not Republicans.
And now look
That's
at
how it goes.
And now look how many people are coming out talking about how Chris Cuomo, how he really was. Folks, this is the vile nature of society. Let's go to number 1 story. And folks, we started 2021. We started most of 2020 like this with COVID. We thought we were on the way out. This is the story of 2021 is how much more can we suffer as a society? Now, in Canada, Stuart, we're on our verge to more of a lockdown, and we're seeing in the United States less so, but I wouldn't be surprised with your president and with all that, we're about to have Groundhog Day. We're going to go back to March 2020.
So you know what's funny, David? The science has now come up with super vaccinated. You know, the vaccination, and again, I'm triple vaccinated. David, I think you're double?
I am. I'm trying to wait for my third.
So I've got my 3rd jab. Yanina's getting her 3rd jab on Thursday. Bottom line is, it doesn't prevent you from getting COVID. It prevents the strong likelihood that you're going to drop dead or die in a hospital of COVID or even go to a hospital of COVID. So bottom line is it's not a prevention. It just hopefully reduces your risk of mortality.
But you know what, Stuart, this is not the point, Stuart. I think that the story of COVID in 2021 is the ups and the downs. the changes, the political games that are being played around COVID, the way it was politicized at the end of 2020, pardon me, as part of a political campaign. And as we're into 2021, the complete and utter sham of the Canadian government, the American government, and how they've handled it. No one's in our lifetime ever dealt with a pandemic. But man,
I got to stop at. I got to give a shout out to Richard Balfour. Richard Balfour says, "I'm glad you guys are saying it instead of me." You know, everyone seems to not want to be counted, not wanting to be seen. Everyone is scared of the repercussions. And you know what, David? You and I have been utterly fearless in our broadcast. We've been utterly fearless in all of the naysayers, David, since February 2021 to today. We've broadcasted fearlessly about issues that most people that are listening around the world are afraid to talk about. And David, you know what I wish for you?
What's that?
I wish for you for 2022 to get a new sweatshirt, because Herzliya is a school you haven't attended in almost 35 years.
Stuart,
sorry, I say something.
Stuart, no, but it's typical of you.
It's
but that's
okay.
okay.
It's
This is my alma mater, and I'm proud of it. And you know, Stuart, you could do whatever and say what you want, and I hope that you finally get real close to wear to one of these and dress up a little bit. But folks, listen, right now we are gonna go on a little bit of a live break. Stuart and I are going to take a little bit of a break, but we will be back in January. We will be back to
January 3rd.
January 3rd. We'll be back with our rants. In the meantime, over the next few rants, it's our best of. We're going to listen for the next 4 rants, actually. It's going to be the best of that we've done in 2021. So we thank you all very much for listening in. We really appreciate all your support. We look forward to catching up with you live January 3rd, 2022. Wishing you well. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy, safe, and healthy New Year. Bye, everyone.